The following data represents the travel times in minutes to work for all 7 employees of a startup web development company. Part A, compute the population mean of this data. We are computing the population mean, so this is mu. To compute the mean, we add up all of the data values and divide by the number of data values. So you will add 23, 36, 23, all the way up to 43. And we divide this by the total number of data values, and there are 7. You can put this in your calculator all at once if you have the TI-30XS. If you have a different calculator, you can still input this at one time. However, you will have to put parentheses around the entire top. So you get approximately 24.857. Now let's round this to the nearest tenth, and we get 24.9. So mu, or the population mean, equals 24.9. Part B, then take a simple random sample of n equals 3 employees. Compute the sample mean, obtain a second simple random sample of n equals 3 employees, again compute the sample mean. Your simple random sample will vary, however, we will just use the following 2 simple random samples. Let's say the first simple random sample has 23, 36, and 23. And the second simple random sample has 26, 23, and 18. Now let's compute the sample mean for each of these. The sample mean is denoted by x bar, and this is computed the same way as the population mean. You add up all the values and divide by the number of values. So we will add 23, 36, and 23, and divide by the total number in the sample, which is 3. Put this in your calculator and you get approximately 27.3. So x bar, or the sample mean for the first simple random sample, is 27.3. Now let's compute the sample mean for the second simple random sample. To compute the sample mean, we add up all the values and divide by the number of values. So we will add 26, 23, and 18. And we will divide by the total number in the sample, which is 3. Put this in your calculator and you get approximately 22.3. So this is the sample mean for the second random sample. Notice that the population mean, the sample mean for the first sample, and the sample mean for the second sample were all different. This will be important later in the course. Let's find the population mean. First, type in your data, then go to Stat, Summary Stats, and then Columns. Once you're in Columns, select var1. And then something that you'll notice here is that a lot of these are already selected, and all the ones that are selected are here. So if you want, you can just go ahead and click on mean, because that's the only thing you want, and press compute. So we get that the mean is approximately 24.9 when we round to 1 decimal place. For part B, we need to take 2 simple random samples of 3. So let's type in the data for the first simple random sample. We have 23, 36, and 23. Remember that we can rename the columns, so we can rename var1 population, and we can call var2 sample 1. We also have a second sample, so we can call this third column sample 2, and this one has 26, 23, and 18. So now let's find the sample mean for sample 1, or simple random sample 1. We're going to go to Stat, Summary Stats, and then Columns again. But instead of choosing population, this time we will pick sample 1, and then we will choose the mean only and press compute. And we get approximately 27.3. So this is the mean for sample 1. So now let's find the mean for sample 2. Let's go to Stat, Summary Stats, and then Columns again. Now this time we want sample 2, and then we want the mean for it, and let's press compute. And we get 22.3. So it's a really good idea to always rename your columns because it makes it easier to figure out what information is in each column.